Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, man? Now, I saw this video come up in my sub box, man. It creeped up on me, and I was like, whoa. I was like, yo! Because my man StandUser00, shout out to him, made a very interesting topic that, you think about, but when you're actually asked, you're like, which one truly is it, man? So basically, StandUser00 created a video, a discussion, a topic. He asked a question to his subscribers, to anyone on YouTube, that what was the arc? What was the arc that made One Piece your favorite series? Or what was the arc that made One Piece one of your favorite series? What was the arc that made you love One Piece? So when I saw the title, I was like, yo, I gotta make a response to this. And then I said, let me watch the video. So I went in to go watch the video. And man, seeing my boy talk about how much he loves Alabasta and the memories of the awesome sauce. Let me just tell you this StandUser00, man. Because this is the thing about Alabasta, bro. Because back then in those times, Alabasta was the arc. And I mean, look, man, Alabasta was the arc. You had like a pedestal of arcs that people that people would praise, and that was Alabasta, Soul Society, Chunin Exams, Frieza Saga, and Dark Tournament. You would see that all the time, and that was the way that it was until, of course, like the greatness of artists in his lobby and anything else that came out around the series. But Alabasta, for some point in time, was just the flippin' One Piece arc. That was the arc that made it most popular in Japan. That was the arc that everybody was just raving about it. Alabasta was just that arc. And you can even see how in J-Stars, they have Alabasta as the playable thing. Like, that's how you know how popular that arc was. But I loved hearing you talk about it, because I always say this when it comes to Alabasta. People always say that like whenever they hear the word anime, they'll think of something, or they think of something, or everyone has something that whenever they hear the word anime or manga, something comes to mind. For me, and it hasn't changed in years. It probably will take a while for it to change. Farther down the line, of course, more other moments will be with me for longer. But let me tell you this, man. Anytime that I hear the words anime or manga, it's not the first Super Saiyan transformation. It's not the first Bankai. It's not even Naruto vs Sasuke. It's not any of that. The very first thing that I think of when somebody says the word anime is the legendary Nakama scene, man. Episode 130. The sign of friendship, bro. And the music. That legendary scene. So I know how much, dude. The Mr. Freeze. I mean, you brought up a lot of awesome points when it comes to Alabasta, but I definitely respect it, yo. Shout out to you for ringing up awesome sauce and for reminding me of greatness. But for me, I had a different story. Now, when it comes to what arc made me truly say, you know what? Because this is the whole thing. Okay. So let me go and give you a little bit of backstory. So how I got into really watching One Piece was because when Bleach went on hiatus, I said, man, I gotta find something. I gotta find something to fill the hole that Bleach left behind, man. And I was searching, dog. I was searching. Like, there was a couple of series. I still have that video as a topic, but a couple different series. There was like 8 or 9 that I watched on the internet, and man, like my the best one, the best one that I remember out of that batch was Code Geass Season 1. I don't think Season 2 come out yet. But Code Geass Season 1, bro, amazing. But still, even with that, or with any of the other ones like Death Note that I watched, Full Metal Alchemist, flipping, a couple other series. Gurren Lagann, I think, was a part of that. And there's a couple of series. And even though I liked them and I enjoyed them, none of them gave me the same it factor, the same awesome sauce that I felt while I watched Bleach. So I finally decided, you know what? Let me watch One Piece. Let me watch One Piece. And now at the time, I had I knew nobody that watched One Piece. It was either Naruto or Bleach, but no one was watching One Piece. So I got into it, and bro, One Piece was not only my first marathon experience for a long running anime, because I watched Naruto, Bleach, Dragon Ball, Hakusho, all these series on a weekly basis on television. One Piece was the first series that I ever had like an actual adventure of going out and binging it and marathoning it like online. And with the legendary Kaizoku fan subs, with the colored Gomu Gomu no and that stuff, one sword style, like you just don't forget that kind of stuff, man. But so when I got into One Piece, man, I from Jump Street, I already had like this is what I've been looking for, man. This is what I've been wanting. You know, you went through a couple of the arcs. You know, you went through you went through Morgan, you went through Orange Town, you went through Kuro, you went through Brati. But when I reached Arlong Park, man, when I reached Arlong Park, I said, nah. Yo, because until that point, I had never felt. I mean, even with Bleach, I had never felt so emotionally connected, from a standpoint of man, like when I felt like there was a couple of scenes beforehand that would hit you, right? But then when I first saw the Nami flashback and the way that Oda did that, and the way that Oda started connecting some of the plot points when it came to that arc, and showing the relationship between these guys, because up until this point, Luffy was just recruiting people, but it was there was no like established like relationship here. It was just recruiting strong people to have on his crew or to have fun or whatever. But this arc was the first arc that truly made me realize, yo, these guys are family. Yo, Luffy is willing to do whatever it takes for his family, for his people. And man, yo, I mean, I can't even begin to explain. I can remember like it was yesterday, of whenever I first saw the scene, the legendary walk to Along Park, because like I was just so immersed, and Nami's over here hitting it, yo, and she tells Luffy to help him, and Luffy puts a straw hat on her mother living head. And he walks back, and you see the three. You see Zoro, Usopp, and Sanji look like badass. And Sanji's hair is gonna be smoking. Zoro has his swords up. Usopp has the goggles. You're like, yo. And then what they say when they're walking and you're overtaken: if those four can't stop them, no one in the East Blue has a chance. And man, Bellemare, man, because that entire flash, I'd never seen anything like that before. And the subplot with the world government, how Arlong's such a sly bastard that the man proceeded to hire to pay off the world government in order to get her a stash. And he just made you look at it like everything for the world government and the pirates are both scum. Like they're both scumbags. And you're like, bro, I mean, yo. I mean, and then who's Arlong, and then the way they all went at it. Up until this point, I watched some animes, man, but I don't think I've ever been as invested as whenever I saw this dude Luffy fighting, and when he was destroying, I didn't understand at first when I was watching when he was destroying the Navigator's room, but when I understood the meaning behind him destroying that room, bro, I was like, yo, One Piece. And when he yells out at the end, yo, when he's on top of the rubble, when he defeats Arlong, and he's just standing there, Nami's still wearing that. Dog, it's greatness. It's greatness. I can't put it any better. That's greatness. Arlong Park has stuck with me for so long that it's been my top 5 favorite arcs for years. For years. And honestly, the more the time goes on, the lower on the scale it goes down, but it's still in my top 5. It's still in my top 5, man. That's saying something. Now, that's half. That's half. Because, Arlong Park made me love One Piece. I already loved it, but Arlong Park solidified it. But the arc that truly made me say, besides the legendary moment in Enies Lobby, the thing that really to this very day that stuck with me, the I Want to Live scene, besides that scene where I truly said that One Piece is the greatest thing ever, the scene that really made me say that I got it. I have something that I might like more than Bleach. The scene, I mean, not even the scene, the arc that made me feel that way, guys, was Drum Island, man. Drum flippin' Island. Because the thing is that with Drum Island, I went in there expecting something, and what I got out of it was more than anything I could possibly imagine. Drum Island until just recently was still my number 5 in my top favorite arcs, and it got dethroned number 6. But Drum Island is a story within of itself. I truly believe what I'm about to say. I truly believe that there is no there is just no other character like Hero Luke in terms of flashback characters of how much I care about them, besides possibly Norland and Hilgara. Besides that, Dr. Hero Luke and Chopper's story. Even before that, you know, there's a couple of Luffy scenes that just truly, oh, there's one scene there's one scene in particular, to this very day, before One Piece, I never cried in an anime before. I'd never cried at any piece of entertainment before in my life. But I remember, and to this very day, when I rewatch the scene, it hits home. The Luffy Lapin scene. The music. God. I mean, because the thing is, Drum Island is like one of the only arcs that I really have to debate in my head which one I like more between the anime and the manga. Because that Lapin scene, man, you're like, that's Luffy. Like, holy flagnards, that's Luffy, man. He's carrying the wounded. He's carrying Sanji and Nami. He walks by. The Lapin are trying to fight him. And Luffy just lifts him up. He lifts him up, yo. And the way that the Luffy... You're like, bro, that is monkey flipping D. And then when he climbs that mountain and you see all that he's going through for his crew, and you're like, bro. And then you get Chopper's flashback, and then you get the legendary when Luffy holds the flag and the cherry blossoms. I don't even have to talk about Chopper's flashback. You know how legendary that is, man. That's still one of my favorites. Still to this day, it just hits home so much, man. But and then the cherry blossom scene. I mean, Drum Island is just perfect. I can't put it any better than that. Like, it didn't take that long, that much, guys. It really didn't. Like, I could have easily said Alabasta or Giant Skypiea. Oh man, Giant Skypiea is another one. Jaya in particular. Let me split this into 3. Let me split this into 3, yo, because I gotta talk about Jaya right quick. So we talk about Arlong Park. We talked about Drum Island. Okay, so if Arlong Park made me love One Piece, Drum Island made it like my favorite. But Jaya, it changed me. It truly did. Jaya changed the way I lived. About the concept of dreams, the concept of adventure. God, that scene in the bar when Luffy and when Nami's yelling, it's like, why aren't you two fighting back? And Luffy's like, yo, chill. That's such a badass scene. And Luffy's, oh, don't do shit. Nothing. Luffy's the top heel. He's going in on him. And then Blackbeard, the people's dreams never die speech, which I used to watch once a day. And the story of whether the Sky Island does exist. The proof, not only from an adventure aspect, but from an aspect of dreams. Like dreaming that something can happen. It can happen. You know? I can't. I can't. Jaya was too flipping goat, man. Mont Blanc cricket. And the story of Norland. You know, the city of gold that I've always talked about. You know, everyone always ridicules me for it. The final scene in Skype. I'm not gonna talk about Skype. I'm not gonna talk about Skype. That's a video in itself. Jaya and Skype. Just strictly Jaya. I can't. It's too much. It's too much. I can just see it right now. Luffy tips over the hat, one eye showing. He didn't fight back, and then when he nails them, like aside from seeing like all the warlords and seeing Whitebeard and whatnot for the first time, you know, post Alabasta and going into Jaya, you know, aside from all of that, aside from so many foreshadowing in that portion with like the Sanya's royalty theory and all that, just the adventure and dreams aspect by itself, because after Alabasta, you're like, yo, what's next? An island in the sky. You're like, yo, this is One Piece, man. The dreams, the emotion, yo, Luffy and Zoro, yo, that were so badass. And then Blackbeard. And then when you find out that he is Blackbeard, you start thinking, you're like, at least for me at this point in time, I'd never been exposed to anything like this before. Like when it came to, you know, I'd always been a wrestling fan, so I only knew like heels and baby faces. That's it. Good guys and bad guys. But a Blackbeard truly made me look at everything from like a gray standpoint. Like when I saw Blackbeard, I I truly realized, you know, this guy's just like Luffy, but yet the whole world looks at him like this. Like he's Blackbeard. But yet he believes that dreams can come true. Like that's not evil, man. He's just like Luffy. He's just like you and me. And dog, man, yeah, you know, I just amazing, you know, Arlong Park, Drum Island, and freaking Jaya. I'd probably have to say, you know, aside from everything else, because obviously, you know, Enies Lobby and Water 7 to this day is still my favorite, but can't even begin to express how much I love all three. I mean, they're all still, besides Drum Island, they're all still in my top 5. Chai and Skypiea is still in my top 5. Arlong Park is still in my top 5. But yeah, it really didn't take long for One Piece to become one of my favorite. Flipping God. You know, just looking back on it, you know, I've rewatched these arcs so many times and reread these arcs so many times. But honestly, when it comes to the first half, you know, reading it is nostalgic too. But when I watch the anime for Arlong Park or Drum Island, it's just there's like a sense of nostalgia there, man. That's absolutely crazy. I love that scene so much. What it means to be a pirate, yo. When Luffy jumps up there and grabs the flag in Drum Island. That's such an amazing character arc for Luffy, man. Not Drum Island, yo. But yeah, no, man. Jaya, dude. The whole concept of dreams, like that's what I live for, guys. I live for that kind of stuff. For proving other people wrong, for going out there and believing you can achieve something, you know, going out there and believe and going past what is known as a limitation and breaking past that. You know, that's the kind of stuff I live for, man. It's the kind of stuff that I always want to just spread the word of. That, you know, you don't have to be constrained to all this stuff. You know, go out there and do what you want to do. Be who you want to be. You know, you're only here once, man. Make the best of it and do what you want to do and live it out to your best, man. And I swear, when it's the entirety of Jaya. There's not like even one particular scene. The entirety of like Jaya and Skypiea, but the Skypiea aside, just Jaya. So much, man, with the whole dreams and adventure aspect. It just it really hits home for me, man, that entire concept, because at the time I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and and the mixture of Jaya along with episode 278 slash volume 41, I finally decided what I wanted to do with my future. Now, granted, at that time, I didn't know that my future would be, me talking on YouTube about the greatness of One Piece, but at that time, I truly had a different mentality when it came to, because whenever you're in that age, especially at the age that I watched One Piece, I was still thinking, I was like, man, what am I gonna do with my future? What am I gonna do with after here? What am I gonna do with my life? And I still look back on Jaya as like that one game-changing moment of, you know what, if I believe hard enough in something, I'll be able to achieve it. If I work hard enough, I'll be able to achieve it. Because before then, I hadn't really heard words like that. It's usually like, you can't do this, or you have to work. After you get out of school, you have to work, and you have to supply your family and all this other crap. But One Piece truly showed me another perspective on life. It truly showed me something different. Like, if you have a dream, if you have something that you really want to do it, man. Chase it, yo. Prove them. And it's beautiful. People's dreams never die, man. It's such a powerful scene coming from Blackbeard. When Luffy looks at him, man. It's beautiful. And it's scenes like that, and Jaya just in of itself is why I want any person that breathes, or anyone that still lives, or everyone's alive, to just experience One Piece once, even if they don't like it, to just experience it once, because you never know, man. It could hit you as hard as it hit me, and it really could change you for the better, like. Seriously, after Jaya, man, and it was a combo of a lot of different things, but I was look back on Jaya, because the first time I heard that, man, like, what, can I really chase after my dreams, man? And do what I want to do? Can I really, chase after and try to become an author, and try to do all these other things? It's simple, because it might be something that you'll hear, every once in a while, and every now and then. But the way that Oda does it, man, it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and it was kind of like a lesson, honestly, for me. And like, powerful words, man. I love Jaya. I really do. And I love Skypiea, that entire saga in its whole. But yeah, man, definitely Arlong Park, Drum Island, and Jaya, I'd have to say, are this combination of like the stepping stones of what made me love this series when I originally, I love all the arcs, of course, but aside from the obvious, like Alabasta and Skypiea and Water Simonius Lobby, like, I can definitely pinpoint those three for sure, with no doubt in my mind. That's whenever I solidified in my heart that this series was forever going to be for me, and that I was going to love it for quite some time. And I was never going to, like, after that, One Piece and Bleach were my favorites, and it was like that for years. It's still the case now. So, yeah, man, I looking back on Jaya, man, it's beautiful, yo. It's beautiful. But yeah, you guys are awesome today, and this probably turned into another ramble session. I didn't expect this video to be that long, but when you talk about One Piece, you never know how long you're gonna go. You just come out here and you shoot, brother. That's all you do, man. You shoot, you talk about awesome sauce, and whatever happens after happens, man. Let me actually get my Jaya volume out of here. The greatness of Jaya, man. These two amazing volumes, dude. The Jaya greatness. The Arlong and Drum Island greatness, man. Whether it be manga form, anime form, movie form, game form, doesn't matter, man. It hits the right points, bro. And yeah, but definitely I have to get up to those three arcs for sure. Arlong, Drum Island, and Jaya. But you know what, guys? Have an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what was the arc that made you love One Piece. What was the arc that really solidified it as your favorite series? Whether it's really early on, or maybe it's really late. Whatever arc it is, whatever out of the 28 arcs it is, I will definitely accept it. You know, as a One Piece fan, knowing how every single arc will hit every single person differently. You know, who am I to say that your pick is wrong? You know, with the greatness of One Piece, any arc could have been that arc for you. It just happened to be that these 3 arcs were the ones for me. So thank you very much, guys. Have an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching, and One Piece greatness, man. You know, it's always awesome to look back and just think about stuff like this. So I appreciate StandUser00 for bringing up this awesome discussion topic, and I truly do appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much, man.